What's good, world? This is King Phenom here, hitting you with another episode of the Blerd Perspective by myself. I'm trying out some new things today, so please, if you notice anything inside the chat or inside the video, like lag or audio quality or anything like that, let me know so I can try to tweak things on the fly. It's kind of hard to test out things when I go live because the way I have everything set up, when we go live to Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube all at the same time. So sometimes I think I'm testing it out on one and I forget, and it's going live to other stuff, and it just looks weird sometimes if you've seen the videos of me trying to test some things out. But anyway, I'm back this week, like always, just to talk about some of the new things inside of what I like to call the Blerdy world. Me personally, everyone who has seen the show before knows I'm more of a movie, TV buff type of person. Other people, they give you their opinions on podcasts. They give you their opinions on games and comics and things like that. But I do have a slew of topics today that I want to talk about that kind of reach into everything. So be prepared. Hope you have fun. If not, do I really care? I mean, I'm doing this on my own free time, so. First thing I want to do, though, is I want to start us off with a trailer reaction to the new Captain Marvel trailer that came out earlier this week. I've seen it one time, so, my opinion is a little already formed, but when you watch things multiple times, you end up catching things that you didn't notice the first or second time around, so maybe my opinion might change a little bit, but we'll go ahead and let's go jump right into this.
War is a universal language. I know a renegade soldier when I see one. Never occurred to me that one might come from above. Space invasion, big car chase. Truth be told, I was ready to hang it up until I met you today. So you're not from around here?
It's hard to explain. I keep having these memories. I see flashes. I think I had a life here. But I can't tell if it's real.
Idea what threats are out there. We can't do this alone. We need you.
I'm not what you think I am.
And there we have it, Captain Marvel. I told some people already when I saw the trailer. It was a good trailer. It was a decent trailer. It didn't do anything to get me hyped about the movie because I was already anticipating the movie. So it's one of those, the way people say at this point, Marvel's just Marvel. That's the way I felt with this trailer. It's like, oh, this is a Marvel trailer. This is a trailer I've seen plenty of times. I'm still seeing the movie. You're still getting my money, Marvel. So at this point, it's almost to the point where it's just like, for me, it's like, yeah, you dropped the trailer to give me a little hype, but for the most part, you can just announce it on Twitter or Instagram or something like that, and you already had me, Marvel. Your track record has told me that I could trust you You could pull a Beyonce and just drop a movie out of the blue with no type of warning, and guess what? It'll probably be the number one movie in the that weekend, or probably for a couple weekends, because you've built up that type of trust with us, where we're just like, here, take our money, please, and continue to do what you do. One thing I do have to say, kudos to is, this the CGI, especially this de-aging CGI, I guess, that they used on Sam Jackson and I think his name is Greg Clark, who plays Coulson in the MCU and on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Bravo, because you've proven one thing and one thing only, that Justice League has no reason to why they fucked up that mustache removal of Henry Cavill so bad. Is it so hard? Please tell me. They were able, between Captain Marvel and Captain America Civil War, they were able to de-age 3 people, and it looked totally believable. You couldn't take pictures of Henry Cavill or something and use that in the CGI magic like Marvel did. You need to talk to people, DC. This is ridiculous. Kudos, because that looks like a young Sam Jackson. I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That looks like a younger Coulson. Whether or not you want to say it's just the hair, it actually looks very, very, very good in my opinion. So there's nothing that this trailer had to do that was going to make this a day one for me, because this was going to be a day one no matter what. Most of the Marvel movies I do catch the Thursday before the actual release, and I love it. Maybe enter a few contests to try to get an early screening or something like that. I do like that it's set in the 90s, and one of the first things they want you to know is that it's set in the 90s for people who didn't know or who's watching this trailer for the first time, because she crashes right down in the middle of what used to be my favorite place on earth, Blockbuster Videos. Rip Blockbusters. I heard they opened one up in England recently, but it only sells copies of Deadpool 2. So I am good with that. Oh, what's good, Showtime? Showtime in the comments just hit season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is probably one of the best comic book world TV shows out there. People hate on it, or people are just like, it's too far along, they don't want to catch up. I highly recommend it. I can tell you like this. I started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when it first came out. I got 6 or 7 episodes in. It bored the hell out of me. I gave up on it. And right around the time Captain America the Winter Soldier came out, that's when my coworkers were like, no, you got to watch it, because the events of Captain America Winter Soldier have a direct impact on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in season 1, and that makes the show so much better after that. And then consistently since then, it's had its highs and its lows, but for the most part, it's been a consistently good show in my opinion. I can't wait for season 6. I'm a little disappointed that I have to wait until next summer for season 6, just like I gotta wait next summer for Game of Thrones. Everyone kill yourself for that one. But it's a good show. I highly recommend it. But back to this trailer. I don't know much about Captain Marvel. I just know that she's strong as hell. She's supposed to be the savior of the MCU at this point after the snap. I'm curious about why she punched the old lady in the face. From what I hear, it's a race of aliens that can shapeshift, I guess, and so she knew who they were and she was knocking the shit out of them. I want to know who Jude Law is with his non-Jude Law color eyes. Someone said that they think he's supposed to be the original Captain Marvel, which I think his name was Marvel. So I'm interested to have a few of my questions answered from the trailer. But as far as the trailer overhyping the movie for me, it didn't do that, because one, I've kind of learned after Infinity War and Black Panther, the overhyping trailers don't work on me anymore. I know that was just this year, but it's just my emotions were put into those movies for so long that at this point, everything that comes after, it can be epic, but it's like watching a Fast and Furious trailer. Once a new movie comes out, it's like, oh, more car stuff. Oh, more Vin Diesel talking. Oh, more stuff I'm pretty much already used to. That's all this trailer was. But that doesn't mean that it didn't serve its purpose for the people who weren't maybe anticipating this movie or who didn't know who Captain Marvel was. I can't speak on their behalf. I'm just giving you my perception of this trailer, and this trailer gets a solid B from me, which most trailers nowadays are. I think the last trailer that got more than a B for me might have been the last Halloween trailer. And that's just because Jamie Lee Curtis just kind of like uppercutted, or I guess hit Michael Myers maybe with the butt of a gun and knocked that big 6'5" looking dude like down into a basement. So I had to give her props for that one. So done with that. Now, I had a lot of quick hits that I wanted to talk with the rest of the crew about, but since it's just me, this will probably be another short show like last week. I swear on everything. Last week felt like I was talking for maybe an hour and a half. And by the time it was all said and done and I got the little message, hey, you streamed for an hour and 5 minutes. And I was like, what the hell? Being a content creator is not easy. Shout out to all my content creators. Shout out to all my content creators who do it solo. I see what's his name? I think Spoken Reasons on YouTube. I see him do a podcast or his show by himself for like 2 hours. I can't do that. I don't think I could do that. That would just feel too long. So to all my content creators who do this solo, more power to you. I respect you a hell of a lot more, because after doing this shit by myself, it's something that I hope doesn't have to happen very often. But if it has to happen very often, then it is what it is. If I am the Blerd Perspective, then I'll be the Blerd Perspective. But on to my favorite topic of this week. Yes, I have a favorite topic. And that is, they've officially announced Zombieland 2 will be released in theaters on October 11th, 2019. If anyone's listened to the show before we actually started doing the live stream, we tried to do something when it was just me, Sirius, and Blank Man. We tried to do something called our top 5, where, you know, we just had a different top 5 every week, and we just gave you our top 5s. So when the subject came to horror movies, I put Zombieland in my top 5. Not because it was a scary movie, but because overall it was an enjoyable zombie flick. It had it tried to get you sometimes with jump scares, but it was really funny. The cast had real good chemistry. They gelled together really well, and overall it was a very enjoyable movie that I can go back and I can watch consistently and not have an issue with it. It's not very long, so it's very easy to get through, very easy to digest. And for the longest time, I lived by those rules. All right. I was a fat boy. I still am kind of a fat boy, but I knew I had to work on the cardio. Man, you ain't have to tell me about the double tap. Like, when in doubt, know your way out. I'm already weary of public restrooms before this movie came out, and so I'm already on like 9 when in public restrooms. Now I'm on like 15. Like, this was just a good movie. If you haven't watched it, I don't know why. This movie came out, I think, in like 2010, maybe even before that. This is a well-deserved sequel. Shout out to Columbus, Tallahassee, Wichita, and Little Rock. Like, I'm happy they were able to get all the original cast back. I would say rip to someone in the movie, but if you haven't seen the movie, I feel like that would just be a total disservice to probably one of the funniest random scenes in the entire movie. So, yeah, Zombieland 2, I'm all for it. What say ye, kings? Is this going to be a king move or not? For those of you who don't know, king move is just me and my friends. We all refer to ourselves as kings because we are kings. And, you know, just us getting together, enjoying movies, something we don't get to do as much as we used to. But I want to make this a king move. I love Zombieland. I don't know about the rest of the guys. If so, cool. If not, my ass will still be there. Front row. Well, maybe not front row. Maybe I'd be like in the middle somewhere. But yeah, Zombieland 2, I'm here for it. What else do I have? See, I have some shit that just it goes a lot better because I feel like different people have such different opinions on it, and that's one reason why last week it was very interesting, but also very fun. I like to thank everyone who was watching last week because, believe it or not, you commenting, you talking, you made this time go by quicker than probably what it should have been. And you helped me feel like I wasn't just doing this all by myself. You know, it was a little back and forth with one another, and that's what made this real cool. That's one reason why I told people before I wanted to do the live stream. I wanted to interact with fans. I wanted to interact with watchers in real time. I wanted them to know that their opinion was something that we took serious, and their opinion was something that, you know, broadens our view. Hopefully we broaden their view. But live streaming, it's definitely something I'm going to continue whether I'm solo or not. Showtime says I'm welcome. Yes. Thank you very much, Showtime. You've probably been one of the most consistent people, because you and shout out to my man Bruce out there, probably the two people that will hit me up, or the two people that will ask when on game chat or when we see each other, hey, y'all doing an episode this week? And I try my best, even if it was just you two watching, I would try my best not to disappoint. So that's the reason why, once again, in the booth by myself, only me, because I can't let whatever fans we do have down. Anything else that was interesting about the Zombieland 2? No, they just gave us a release date. I can't wait for some set photos to release. It's been like 8 to 10 years, so a lot of things must have changed inside that world. I wonder if if the zombies are still going to look the same like in the first movie, or if they're going to do like The Walking Dead, where you can see the effect that that being zombies for all that time is having. You know, rotting corpses, people almost being just bones, no skin, moving around. I'm curious to see if Tallahassee is still on his Twinkie rampage. This is going to be very, very interesting. Another thing that's very, very interesting that I didn't even know about, that's an actual real thing. Sonic the goddamn Hedgehog is getting a movie, or has a movie that's being shot right now. Why? Why? I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, I'm all for the nostalgia and I loved this as a kid or whatnot, but why is Sonic the Hedgehog in the movie? Like, and why am I just now finding out about this? I found out about it because apparently Jim Carrey's supposed to be in it, and he's supposed to play Dr. Robotnik, or whatever the heck they called him to like clean him up, Dr. Eggshell or whatever. But yeah, him, James Marsden, I don't know. I guess it's going to have to be a CGI Sonic, because kids love Sonic. Showtime, I don't even know if they still did anything with Sonic. I feel like Sonic just appeared every once in a while after Sega kind of fell off. I feel like the only thing Sonic really did was he had like little adventures here and there, but for the most part, it was more like ensemble games, like the Nintendo Tennis or Sonic Tennis, whatever it was, and like the Sonic Racing type of thing. Does he still have cartoons or something? I was actually shocked when I went on Netflix last week and they had the old animated Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon on there. I think that was like 93, 94, back when the dude that voiced Steve Urkel was voicing Sonic. That was how I found out that Tails was actually a boy, because I thought Tails was a girl the whole time. So, I mean, I guess if kids still, I didn't know that, I didn't know that Sonic still had a TV show. Oh, they watched the old ones. Okay, yeah, I didn't think Sonic was still that popular. Like, I hardly ever hear Sonic. The only time I really think about Sonic is if I'm playing my old Sega Genesis and I just happen to, you know, get the urge to play Sonic, but I didn't think that was still a thing. Jim Carrey as Robotnik. I mean, Robotnik's, from what I remember of the other cartoon, he was like an over-the-top character. So I could definitely see him in the character. It'd be just weird just because Jim Carrey is so small and skinny. And when you see Robotnik, you kind of think of like a tall, fat dude with very skinny legs. So I'm interested to see how like the suit will work or whatnot. I think James Marsden's just playing like some cop that's supposed to be like assisting Sonic and trying to bring down Robotnik. Not a lot of details on my end about that. I was just more so shocked that they were making a movie, so I put it in. I put it in the topics for this week just because pure and utter disbelief that this is actually a thing. Anything else? Anything else on Sonic? Sonic the Hedgehog. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Nah. It's like I have so much shit and I don't know what I want to do next. Like, do I want to talk about? Did I want to end this on LeBron James? No, I didn't. But so I'm not. LeBron James, man, you're a staple of the black community, a pillar. You show us what we could be. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan as a player because I'm a Mike guy. I'll always be a Mike guy. But as a person, there is no one who can tell me that LeBron James isn't a better person than Michael Jordan. I'm sorry. Just overall, LeBron is the shit. LeBron's only 4 or 5 years older than me, so I can't really say that he's like the role model, but he's more like, he would be like that older brother that I would look up to growing up, you know, because the older he got, he showed he was human, but he showed he had so much greatness in him. And that's why I'm all for him doing this Space Jam. And it's not a sequel. Let's get that straight. This is a straight reboot. I heard that they might want Michael Jordan in there as a cameo, but for the most part, this is going to be a reboot. He went ahead and he got together his production team. He has Ryan Coogler, which directed Black Panther, directed Creed, directed Fruitvale Station. Ryan Coogler should be like on that up and coming young black Hollywood creators, because he's definitely a visionary who brings things to life in such a great way. I loved Black Panther. I was actually a little hesitant to decide if I wanted to see Creed 2 once I found out that he wasn't directing anymore, because Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, that's the team, man. That's magic and Kareem, because that's what they do. They just create something so beautiful and so great. Fruitvale Station was such a powerful movie. That movie made me shed a thug tear. I ain't gonna lie, one thug tear. It was one of the first times I actually saw Michael B. Jordan outside of when he was Wallace on The Wire. So that let me know that Michael B. Jordan has the acting chops to make it in Hollywood. And then when you put him in Creed came out, another thug tier. Creed, my favorite sports movie in like the last decade. I can sit back and just watch the fights every day if I wanted to, but I can sit back and watch the movie in its entirety at least once a month. That's just how good of a movie it is. And I wasn't the biggest Rocky fan, so the fact that you could make me want to go back and watch more of the Rocky films, the ones I saw were pretty much the ones that you used to see on TV a lot when in the early 90s, how they used to play Rocky 4 and Rocky 5 a lot. I've seen Rocky Balboa, but Creed made me want to go back and rewatch the original Rocky, rewatch Rocky 2. I'd already seen the one with Mr. T, so that was pretty cool. But anyway, back to LeBron. I'm all for him going to LA and, you know, he playing basketball and working on his post-basketball life. It's like you should do that. Like, you should, if you're a brand, you should always be trying to grow that brand and reach and put that brand out to reach more people. And that's exactly what LeBron's doing. I'm tired of people who are already kind of chastising him, talking about he just wanted to be Hollywood. He's not really putting in the effort. That's stupid. Plenty of people can do two things at once. Two things can be true. LeBron James, who has given his heart and soul to the NBA for the longest time, has never in 14, 15 seasons, has never not given you everything he's had. So what would make you think just because he's doing other things that he can't do that? Like, my man was giving it everything he had in Cleveland for the last 3 or 4 years while trying to get the I Promise School up off the ground. So something like a movie, that's not really making me worried. They have off seasons, they have lives, they do other stuff. Like, let them live their life. LeBron James, you sir, you're doing an amazing job. Keep it up. Only thing I don't want you to do is remake House Party. You can keep that shit to yourself. Don't ruin my childhood. They already fucked it up with House Parties 3, 4, and whatever that one is with the boy from Everyone Hates Chris. Just leave House Party be. 1 and 2. That's all I need. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. That's done. Netflix. Because I'm not good at transitioning to next topics, I just go to the next topic. Netflix, you have put yourself in a very precarious position where you are about to do a live action TV show of Avatar: The Last Airbender. That is something that can either skyrocket you in popularity, or you can get shitted on just like M. Night Shyamalan did with his movie. I personally am willing to give you a big chance because, one, I never saw that Avatar movie or The Last Airbender, whatever they want to call it. So that doesn't leave a bad taste in my mouth. But that being said, I know a lot of people who are giving you the people's eyebrow right now might be on their knees praying that you guys don't fuck this up. But in my opinion, you have all the tools and you've already said all the right things to give us a little bit more faith in what you can do. We already know that the original creators are going to be back on board with this. They are going to be helping out they are going to be the showrunners. We already know that they've said at the press conference, I believe, or just whatever interview for this, they've already said no. The characters are going to be cultural. I know that's not right. They're going to be the appropriate culture. The same as the actual animated series. There's going to be no whitewashing, which that was probably my biggest detractor from wanting to see the movie. Like, I liked Avatar, the show. I wasn't as into it as other people, but I found it thoroughly entertaining. And when I saw the first preview for The Last Airbender, I'm like, the only real person of color in here is the person playing Zuko. Why is everyone else white? And that was Hollywood back then having a problem that they didn't want to admit that they had, and that's the exact same reason why that movie failed. Like that, and because they tried to rush everything into one giant movie. They tried to condense an entire show into one movie. So hopefully Netflix takes their time with this. It can get multiple seasons, because when you look at it, I think the actual Avatar TV show, the animated one, it wasn't that long. And I mean, it didn't go that many episodes. I think it only went about 50, 60 episodes. So if the writers and if the fans and if everyone can get behind it and do this the right way, I don't see why the show can't last as long as the original animated, and why it can't end on the tone that the original animated ended on. It should be able to. Netflix does put their support behind a lot of things, although I do know at the same time it does come down to the financials, because Netflix has also put out great TV shows that they claim were too expensive to keep producing, and so we had to lose them. RIP to The Get Down. If you haven't seen The Get Down, this Blerd highly recommends it. Also, 7 Seconds. Shout out to Regina King for winning. I believe she won an Emmy for her performance in 7 Seconds, which is kind of funny that you win an Emmy for the first season of a show that got canceled, and you get your award after the show's been canceled. But it was still well deserved, because that show was very well acted, and hopefully the actors that they choose for this Avatar will be just as good, and this will be just as good as the show. Maybe expand on some things. What I would like is for this to be successful enough for the creators to branch off more, because if you don't know, Avatar: The Last Airbender was about this land where the world was divided by nations. You had you had the firebenders, earthbenders, airbenders, waterbenders. Was it 4 or was it 5? Like I said, I wasn't the biggest Avatar fan, so I don't remember everything. But I guess for each generation there was always an avatar who was a master at all of the skills. And how at one point the avatar that was supposed to keep peace within all the nations. Thank you, Showtime. So it was four benders: air, earth, water, fire. And the avatar was supposed to keep peace. And it's basically about this one avatar who was from an airbending nation who disappeared for a long time. In between his absence, you had the Fire Nation basically say, "We run this shit now. We taking over," and about how his discovery and his reappearance into the scene basically was trying to bring peace to all the nations that the Fire Nation was shitting on. What I'm trying to say is, if the TV show goes good, what I would like prequels, kind of the way they said they're going to do Game of Thrones prequels, to kind of like talk about or show you more about how the Night King became the Night King and all that. So I want to know more about the other avatars before the last Avatar. The avatars were there to keep peace, but I refuse to believe that every avatar had complete and utter peace and they never had to do shit. So I want to know, the people who came before Aang. They showed you some of them in the show, but I want to know the ones who literally, I want to know the ones that we don't know about, because like I said, you can't have peaceful nations all the time. There's going to be feuds. There's going to be wars. I want to see how other avatars discover their powers, or how their training went, or how they help resolve conflict. They tried it again with, I believe, what was the other one? They had another one, but this one took place after Aang. Yeah, Legend of Korra. Thank you, Captain Do Get the Third. Yeah, Captain Do Get the Third. Legend of Korra, that took place after the original Airbender show, and I did like that. I didn't finish that, and that's because around that time I was kind of falling out of just animated shows. I was more just strictly in anime and not like the US animated stuff. But I heard great things about the Legend of Korra. But yeah, I want some things that I want to know what happens beforehand though. I want to know some stuff that happens before Aang becomes this kick-ass avatar, or before he was the next chosen one in line. I just want to know other events that led up to that. So hopefully everything goes well with this Netflix show, and we can get more of that. We can get more backstory, because I do like backstory, and I do like when the original creators of a story or of a show are the ones to give us that backstory, because it's already something that they're passionate about. I hate how people just kind of try to use prequels as just a money grab, especially when it's a prequel that didn't really answer any questions, or that didn't really stand on its own. It's just like, oh, hey, remember this one reference from here? Well, now we have an entire TV show about this one reference. No, I don't need any references. Just show me some avatars. That's all you gotta do. I want to see some air bending, some water bending, some earth bending, some fire bending, as does everyone. What else we got? Looking at the docket. Oh, so everyone at this point should already be aware that Disney is doing a streaming platform, because everyone does a streaming platform, because everyone wants our goddamn money. There's no point in not, like, it used to be, don't get cable, we have Netflix. Don't get cable, we have Hulu. Now it's, what's the point? I almost could go back to cable, because like trying to get all these streaming services paying individually is going to cost almost as much as cable. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. Like I said last week, I know there's some people out there who got that Cody running all the time. So more power to you, y'all the good ones. But apparently, what Disney's going to do for the streaming platform, they're going to have limited series based on characters from the MCU movies, and so the first two up are going to be Loki and Scarlet Witch. I told Sirius this when we talked about this on Wednesday before we went to the Childish Gambino concert. The Scarlet Witch one, I'm not 100% sure about, simply because is this going to be is this going to be a Scarlet Witch story that takes place after everything that's been going on in Infinity War? Is this going to take place beforehand? They say that they're going to have the same actors and actresses who played those characters in their shows. So Tom Hiddleston's supposed to play Loki, and Elizabeth Olsen is supposed to play Scarlet Witch. The only thing about Scarlet Witch is she's always just kind of had someone by her side. And so if you're going to do it as a prequel for Scarlet Witch, are you going to try to get Aaron Taylor Johnson back and have him as Quicksilver? Are we going to kind of see more about their life after their parents died in the what was it that caused their parents to die? It was a Stark missile that went through their apartment complex. So are you going to do more of that type of backstory? If so, are you going to hire Aaron Taylor Johnson back? Are we going to see the experiments that they went through, since in this universe they're not mutants, they're just byproducts of being experimented on? So are we going to go back to see what led up to them being chosen, what led up to them surviving? Because I believe they stated before in the movies that there were plenty of test subjects, but that Wanda and Pietro were the only ones to actually survive. That could be cool. It's only going to be cool if you get back Aaron Taylor Johnson. At this point, I don't want you to cast someone else as Quicksilver. That would be stupid. You said that Quicksilver was hella boring in your opinion, or maybe you're just not. Well, no. Like, I agree. That Quicksilver, he wasn't the best. But at the same time, that Scarlet Witch she wasn't the best as Scarlet Witch either in Age of Ultron. She grew into it a little bit more, so who knows? Aaron Taylor Johnson could have gotten a little bit better, but it's going to be real hard to compete because you already had Evan Peters in the Fox Marvel universe in the X-Men as Quicksilver. And let's face it, that whole what was it? The Sweet Dreams and X-Men Apocalypse, when he's just running around the house while it's still blowing up and all that. And then in X-Men Days of Future Past, when they're breaking Magneto out and they do like the time in the bottle. Quicksilver was quick as fuck, funny as hell. He just had Aaron Taylor Johnson, you don't really have charisma. The only thing that he really did good was Kick-Ass, the first Kick-Ass to me, but still, he's already that character. I've already seen him as that character. Maybe he can grow and do a little better because he might be a little bit more comfortable, or because this would be like a different direction for him because he's more so focusing on the pain that they had to endure to be what they become. Or if you don't do a prequel, anything that you would do afterwards would just be weird, because is Vision going to be there? Because let's face it, they've pretty much, since the very end of Age of Ultron, when he swooped in and saved Scarlet Witch from that bus that she was in while it was falling in midair, they've pretty much set it up to where we all know that they're going to get together. This is something that's already been known in the comics, but they're setting it up real hard. And it's just like, we're not stupid. We all know this. But it's the same issue. If you're not going to have Vision in there, it's going to seem weird. So I just feel like her show more like definitely relies heavy on making sure that she has someone opposite of her that we've already seen her with. Loki's not so much, because yeah, we all know Loki is Thor's brother and all this, but there's so much about Loki that we can find out that doesn't have to involve Thor. You know, we can find out how Loki figured out all these different. There's so many different things they can do with Scarlet Witch too. Yeah, there are so many things they can do with Scarlet Witch. It's just the way the movies kind of have it set up. It'd be kind of weird to see her by herself, unless Vision stays dead in Infinity War, or after Infinity War. It would be weird for them not to be together and not to be together on screen in the TV show. But like I was saying, Loki, you can do plenty of things with Loki. You can, if you want, you can do the time between Thor: The Dark World and Thor: Ragnarok, when Loki was in charge running shit. there's no way that all the 9 realms were completely peaceful the entire time. Like, there's no way that while stuff was going on, Loki was just not paying attention, not scheming, not conniving, not trying to stab different races in the back, trying to build up the power of Asgard. Or you can definitely do a younger Loki where we find out about the things that he's discovered. You can find out about all these different paths and know-how, the way Heimdall was like, oh, there's ways in and out of Asgard that apparently I can't see, but Loki knows. It's still going to run into the problem of, since we've been introduced to you in the movie world, it's still going to be weird if we do certain things and you're just not and you just don't have some of the supporting characters that we're used to seeing. That's definitely going to be something that's questionable. It would be better possibly maybe if they were like animated, because at least if they're animated you can reintroduce characters and not so much worry about who does voices. You can find voice actors who can do very good jobs at impersonating people that we know. But when it comes to live action stuff, when you already set a precedence for something and then you like, oh, we're going to do XYZ, well, I'm always used to seeing Loki with Thor. Or I'm used to, if he's on Asgard and some stuff goes down, Heimdall might be somewhere, or this and that. So all this is going to be something very interesting to see. But I do like Tom Hiddleston, so I definitely get that chance. Elizabeth Olsen, she's gotten better as Scarlet Witch. Hopefully, whatever they do with her, they have like this badass version of Scarlet Witch that we've seen in Infinity War, who, you know, has Oyeke like, why the fuck was she up there the whole time while we fighting all these aliens? I'm for that. I'm for showing how powerful she can actually be, because I loved her on animated shows, especially X-Men Evolution. That was what, an early 2000 X-Men show where she came in and she was wrecking shit. She would have the entire Brotherhood scared as hell, other than Toad. Toad was the only one who wasn't scared of Scarlet Witch. I remember the first time she walked into the house that Quicksilver, Blob, Toad, and Avalanche were in. As soon as she walked in that house, and as soon as Pietro or Quicksilver saw her, that dude looked like he had just seen a ghost and was ready to run for his life, because he knew that she was about to tear his place up. And that's exactly what she did. I need that Scarlet Witch. I need that consistency. You know, I need that power. I need that self-confidence. I need that. If you can give that to this entire show, I'm all for it, and it could be something very, very great. I'm not going to pay for it though, Disney. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that crap. DC already has their animated their streaming platform. Disney, you're doing too much. I can't. My pockets is hurting. So, you know, maybe eventually you guys will stop being dumbasses and just like release it on TV or something like that. I don't know, do a tie-in with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What are you watching playing? Oh, I did put this up there. Where the whole crew was supposed to ask, I was supposed to ask the whole crew, what are you watching and or playing right now? This would have been a time where we could have suggested some new things that we're into or some new things that we're playing to help people discover new stuff. I personally have been playing Spider-Man on my PS4. I love Spider-Man. That game is so dope. I've been playing it so much that I fall asleep at night with the controller in my hand. Like, there have been plenty of times at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, like, I'm just, like, I wake up because I just hear something go thud on the ground, and when I look, it was the controller that was in my hand. I've been swinging around New York City multiple times, and the next thing I know, I look and I'm just on the ground because I fell asleep, and I let go of the controller, and Spider-Man's just on the ground in the middle of the street just staring at people. It's an addictive game. It's a fun game. It's not too challenging, but it definitely makes you want to do everything. This is probably one of the first games in a long time where I care if I get everything done at 100%, or if I complete everything, all the side missions, stuff like that. I'm the type of gamer where if you have a main story, I just want to beat the main story, and then all the little side stuff, I'll get to it if I feel like getting to it. No, this is one of those games where I intentionally go off and I try to do as much as the side stuff as I can, and then I'll worry about the main story, just because I want to be Spider-Man longer. I want to swing around New York longer. I want to, use my different Spidey gadgets. I want to help people, stop bad guys. It's fun. Like, the story is definitely something that's entertaining, but I'm just more so concerned about swinging around New York City with my Scarlet Spider outfit, which is my favorite outfit or my favorite skin in the entire game. I've always loved the Scarlet Spider outfit. I've loved it since I was playing the first Spider-Man on the PlayStation. Like those shitty graphics where you had no choice but to swing from rooftop to rooftop, because if you missed the rooftop or if you didn't get to the side of the building and you fell, game over. Like, where you just look down, like, and in between all the buildings, it's nothing but blackness. You can't see anything. So I'm here for that. Like, so I love the Scarlet Spider outfit. I used to use the cheat codes to get the Scarlet Spider outfit all the time. So pretty much for this entire game, I've unlocked different suits, but no matter what, I always go back to the Scarlet Spider. I'm not a big fan of the suit that they show you in the trailers with that with the white spider. That's not really all that appealing to me. Some of the other suits are just kind of unnecessary and stupid, but no, I fucks with that Scarlet Spider. So definitely, if you have a PlayStation and you were wondering if that was a game you should get, it's like Sony's fastest selling game in history. So that should answer your question for you. What am I watching? I pretty much stay consistent with my TV shows right now. I got to finish the last episode of Killjoys for season 4. I always recommend Killjoys. Winona Earp, I'm a couple episodes behind on that, but I'll probably end up catching up on that. The first 2 seasons of Winona Earp you can catch on Netflix if you want. It's basically about this woman. She's the descendant of Wyatt Earp. She lives in a town called Purgatory, where the remnants, or I guess you can somewhat say demons, of Wyatt Earp's past that have been killed by him are kind of run the city a little bit. And basically her family's bloodline, or their curse, is they have to kill all the remnants with a specific gun they call the Peacemaker. If you don't kill them all, then basically the curse goes to the next generation, which sucks ass, but it's a decent show. It has Doc Holliday, which I love. Doc Holliday in Unforgiven. He was shit. Val Kilmer was the shit. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting show. It's not going to be everyone's taste. It's a sci-fi show. Sci-fi isn't known for the great shows that they make, but they do make some pretty entertaining shows if you just sit back and watch. I'm watching Last Chance U on Netflix. If we have any sports fans, any football fans, any college football fans, Last Chance U is actually a hell of a good show. It's a documentary series. The first 2 seasons were about this community college called East Mississippi Community College. It's about football players who either they might have transferred from a Division I school, or they might have not had the type of grades, or they might have had performance issues that led them not to be eligible for Division I schools. And it's basically about these small community colleges, or not really small, but these community colleges, and how these are the stepping stones for them to get to either 2 Division I schools or back to a Division I school. I used to play football, but I don't know if I could handle football on a college level. This, like, between that and the college course load and all that, it's easy for a smart student to get distracted and to fall off in college. So to see, people who were growing up and basically being told you're good at football, you don't have to worry about shit, just put your effort into football, and for them to basically be like, no, this isn't the case. You guys have to do this. You have to do that. You have attitude. You have attitudes because these are grown men who don't want to be told what to do. You have counselors who are trying their best to get these young men academically up to par so that they can go to bigger and better schools. The talent there, the heart's there. It's just certain things just don't all go well. You have some guys who could do everything right, but then just one mistake throws off everything. So if you're definitely someone who likes watching sports things, I would say Last Chance U on Netflix. 4 seasons as far as I know right now. First 2 seasons, East Mississippi. Second season, third and fourth seasons. I believe it's somewhere in Indiana, if I'm not mistaken. I just started that. Not as engaging, but I'm liking it. It's enough to make me sit through it. How long have I been doing this shit? Anything else? On my docket. No, nothing else on my docket. Oh, you know what? I did want to show you guys something, though, if you haven't seen it already. As most people know, Joaquin Phoenix will be playing the Joker in Joker, the movie about the Joker's origin, which DC's just doing too much shit. We already have we have this Joker movie. Jared Leto's supposed to be getting the Joker movie. I don't need this many Jokers, but whatever. Anyway, I was on ScreenRant.com earlier, and I did see this. A lot of people have already seen the photo of Joaquin Phoenix, I guess from the test screening, where he's just like standing still, and then eventually the Joker paint just appears on his face. This right here is actually from set. This is this is an actual photo from the set of the Joker movie. You can see Joaquin, full Joker clown makeup. The hair is hard to kind of see, but it's like a greenish kind of grayish color. Classic Joker-like colors. Not really what I would prefer, the red and the mustard, but it's very, very believable. Got some more photos right here with him smiling. This could work. Joaquin Phoenix could do this. Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor. I will never doubt Joaquin Phoenix as an actor. My whole thing is just, is this movie actually necessary? And I would say no, but I'm probably still going to watch it, if for no other reason, because I am an AMC A-list member, which means I can see 3 movies a week because I paid $20 a month for it. So you like the look, you just want to hear some dialogue. I mean, that's true. Like, the dialogue could, from what I hear, it's supposed to be more of a gangster film, and that could give you some type of hope. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, the Joker really is, he's like a mafia. He's kind of like a mafia guy. It's like he's just jokey a lot. Even when you were looking at the original 1989 Batman, that's who the Joker kind of was. He was just like the second or third in command of a mafia boss who just rose to power. If you think about what is it? Even Suicide Squad, gangster Joker. He was a gangster, not a gangster. Not with the mafia, but still, like that's kind of where Joker falls. That's kind of where Joker falls in when it comes to his organized crime. He's the boss. He's the head. He's pretty much just a funny Don, in my opinion. Like, you have other Batman villains who are, those serious type of gangsters, and he's just like, no. It's like, what I do isn't all about the money. It's more so just to have fun and create a little anarchy, and I'm cool with that. Showtime, you can only see your comments. That's because I am streaming on Mixer, on Twitch, and on YouTube right now. So right now, Captain Doji the Third, if I didn't pronounce it right, my bad. Or Captain Doji the Third. He's on Twitch right now, or they're on Twitch right now commenting. So that's why you can't see everything. Restream. If anyone here wants to be a streamer or is thinking about getting into the streaming game, I think after a while, I'm going to try to start streaming games, in which Restream is a very, very good tool. You can stream via multiple platforms at one time. So like I said, I have this hooked up: YouTube, Mixer, Twitch. You can also hook it up to like your Facebook, I believe. So we have all these different people in all these different platforms, all coming in, all seeing this, trying to help the platform grow. It's the best way to get exposure. So definitely Restream if you're into streaming, or if you want to get into the streaming game. But back to me. I'm back. Nothing else really important that was on there. I had like Patrick Stewart's going to play Bosley in the Charlie's Angels reboot, which is confusing because I thought they said the director was supposed to play Bosley. More information, not really caring about that. Patrick Stewart is, he's authoritative, but he's also fun. So that's a role I can definitely see him in. But other than that, I covered everything. Got my Captain Marvel, got my Joker, Zombieland, Patrick Stewart. Wish everyone could have been here, but once again, I hold it down because that's what I do. I hold shits down. I don't fuck that money up deadly. But I'm thinking more so, before I end this, I'm thinking more so that if I can't get the whole crew here, then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to stream Sundays anymore, because if I can't get the whole crew, like the whole reason I try to do it on a weekend is to try to get the whole crew here for a live show. But if I can't get the whole crew here, then what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to break up the live streams. What's going through my head is like on Thursday nights, I want to do trailer reactions. First time trailer reactions. I don't want it to be like this Captain Marvel where I give you my opinion even though I've already seen the trailer. I won't watch the trailer. When I go live, everyone will see, or everyone will get my honest, off the cuff opinion. And then maybe do the movie news on Friday nights, because I think that works for me and possibly Brown. I'm not sure. It's a lot of details that I gotta watch out. Like a lot of details I gotta think about. Things I gotta tweak. Sundays are, people. At this time, some people in church getting ready to leave church, trying to get themselves ready for the work week. So I'm thinking more so, do I want to do something that can help get you through the work week, or something that have you something that you can enjoy in the middle of the work week, or something at the end of the work week? It's a lot of different things. I do take what listeners say seriously. So, any ideas that you guys have, I'm all for it. I'm all for giving it a try, attempting it, whether it be as a whole with the Blerd perspective, or whether it just be me. I see where Cap says, he can never catch the live streams in the beginning. And so if I have to tweak it to where I go on later maybe, or I just do a different day that seems to work for more people, then I'll do that, because that's the type of guy I am. But also, moving my finger. Look, over in your top, on your top right hand side, you see that little thing that has a 70 to go. Those are subscribers, or those are the number of subscribers that I have set for us. In my mind, I have certain goals that I do want to achieve, and I'm doing a lot by myself, but at the same time, I'm doing. I know the other guys are doing a lot on their own as well, but we're trying to build. We're trying to grow the platform. We just ask, if you know people that are into the same things that you're into, or into some of these same topics, or that might have been thinking about some of these topics that we're talking about, go ahead, post a link, share it, let them know. Our kingdom only grows when we have the people who follow. So right now, I have put a goal in my head where at minimum I just wanted to get to 100 first. That's my short-term goal, 100 subscribers. So right now we are at 30. Yeah, right now we're at 30 because we have 70 more to go. So whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Mixer, whether you're on YouTube, whatever link you're using, hit that share button. Share that out to your people. It's like tell them to hit that like button, hit that notification button so they know when we go live, so they know, and so they'll be able to get some of this blerdy perspective shit going on. Blerdy perspective. Is that what I want to name this? I don't know what I'm going to name this. We also have a lot of different things down the pipe that we want to do as well. I'm going to start introducing streamers onto the show, whether they know it or not. I want to do through social media. I want to help promote some of these streamers, especially some of the African American streamers that I feel are very, very good at what they do, very dedicated, very charismatic, that, you know, could use a little extra shine. I definitely want to do that. So in my mind, I'm going soon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a featured person of the week, whether that be a cosplayer, a streamer, a comic book artist, something to help, even with our little platform, something to further help other people gain a little bit of notice, because we can only as a community, as a whole community, I want everyone to grow. I want to see everyone reach their full potential, and if the little I have can help add to that for someone else, or the little someone else has can help add to ours, then that's the way things should work. Like, that's one person helping another person, paying it forward. So look out for that on our social media. I'm going to start naming streamers. Fans, if you watch any streamers and you feel like they need some light shed on them, definitely let me know. If there's someone with low followers, that's something I would be happy to do. It's like, I've just started following a lot more streamers, and while I may not have the opportunity to watch all their streams, I can tell by the interaction that they have with their fans that they're doing a very good job, and that they may just not be in a position to, you know, to further elevate themselves. So, you know, like I said, I want to help other people get elevated. I want other people to help us get elevated, but I want it to be a genuine type of thing. So if you have any streamers that you want to recommend, if you have any, like I said, any artists, any writers, anyone that you want to help put on or help, you know, get a little bit more attention. I'm not going to say only black people, but I do say, as a person of color, I would prefer to help try to elevate a person of, or not elevate, I'm sorry. I would prefer to shed a little extra light on people of color, if that's not too bad first. But if you have any ideas, send us a list. Send me a list. Our email is kickbackkings with a Z 301@gmail.com. Like, because I can only do so much during the day because I have to work and all that, and I have to work, try to find new topics, try to see if I can get everyone organized to do a show. So, you know, what you guys do, whether you think it matters or not, whether you think the words you type on the keyboard and send to me matter or not, they do. They've helped me get through this show today. They helped me get through the show last week. They help give us new ideas. They help us grow, and hopefully they can help us grow while helping others grow at the same time. So definitely send me your ideas. Kickbackkings with a Z 301@gmail.com. Also, if you're not already following us, go ahead and do so. Down at the bottom, you have most of our social medias. Facebook, Kickback Kings Media. Instagram, Kickback Kings Media. Twitter, we're KBK301. While I will never say it's mandatory, and while I will always say it's greatly appreciated, if you decide that you want to help us out financially, bless you. That's all I have to say. Right down at the bottom right, that's also the link to our, or not the link, that's also the name of our Patreon page, patreon.com/KB Kings Media. What I want to start doing there is I want to start doing special shows where maybe all we do is answer followers' questions, and all that happens on the for Patreon users. I'm thinking of small platform or small monetary amounts, so like maybe $1, $5 a month to help us do some things with the podcast, help with some equipment, help with some lighting, maybe decorate the studio a little bit more. I want to do like a contest or like a monthly drawing where whoever wins, if they want, we can do a special podcast where they can call in and they can be like our live guests for the podcast. I guess I'm just taking this time while I have it by myself to let you know the ideas that's been going on in my brain for a long time, and let you know the type of things that I want to try to take advantage of for as long as I have this platform to take advantage of. So if you can honestly look in your heart and think, have I spent $1 or $5 on something stupid this month? And you can say, yeah, then take that $1 or that $5 and possibly just send it our way, and know that it's not a stupid thing. You're just helping a creator try to grow their platform. It's not a mandatory thing. It's just an appreciated thing. But whether it happens or not, for the most part, you'll still find me here every week. Like, I don't care if I look at the Patreon and we have 0 patrons. That's not going to stop me from clicking this go live button or this streaming button on. It's not going to stop me from hitting this live button or this streaming button, and it's not going to stop me from giving my opinions. It's not going to stop people from hating me. It's not going to stop people from liking me. I'm going to do what I do. Cap, you used to do a podcast, like, so yeah. You definitely know what it's like to try to run this. It's a great idea when you think about it, but like when you start putting the money for it, and when you put in all the work, it's definitely something hard, but it's definitely something I like to do because I like to talk anyway. I prefer talking with people, but I like to talk. So, was there anything else? No, I gave y'all the socials, gave y'all the socials, told you about my nice little layout with the subscribers. I will be nice enough for everyone else though to do this. That right there are our gamer tags. So if anyone wants to go ahead and friend us on either PlayStation or Xbox, feel free. At the top, you have for Xbox, you have myself, King Phenom. Under that, you have King Sirius. Under that, you have Smur78, who is Blank Man. Then lastly, we have Sailor Slytherin, who is our own AK Senpai. I asked that if you do add us as a friend, just send us a quick little message and just say, hey, listener of the podcast, only because sometimes just random people add us and I don't add them back, especially if I don't know you. So, send me a message. Let me know who you are. Let me know you're a listener, and I will be glad to go ahead and add you back as a friend. I don't want you to be like, oh, he's an ass. He asked for people to follow him, and then he's not going to follow him back. Also, if you want to follow me on or friend me on PlayStation, Sparker88. That is I. I am the only one with a PlayStation because I'm the only one who is awesome. On PlayStation, the only games I actually do play right now outside of Spider-Man would be Madden and Overwatch. So if you are a Madden and or Overwatch fan, you'll probably kick my ass in Madden because I haven't played Madden since Madden 14 or Madden 15. But if you're an Overwatch fan, I'll be glad to join the game. I'll be glad to have you join my game. I'm all about reaching out to people. I'm all about connecting with people. So there we go right there. I think I covered everything very, very well for my second straight stream by myself. Crazy eyes to my co-host. Crazy ass to all my co-hosts. Texting doesn't hurt. Anyway, I am your boy King Phenom. This right here has been another episode of the Blerd Perspective. I'm going to call this one Dolo. Why? Because my bummy friends always leave me solo. Until next